You know, you got Shaq coming into the low post. He positions himself. He gets deep into the post. Once he's that deep, he's hard to stop, so you got to foul him. You're better off fouling him than letting him get that deep into the post.
Time early next season, he'll qualify for the all-time leaders, and he would automatically become the 4th leading scorer if he maintains his present pace, the 4th leading scorer of all time. And just behind Elgin Baylor and just ahead of Jerry West.
Yeah, that's impressive. You know, this guy, he brings the bacon every night. Every night he steps on the floor, he's giving you big-time numbers.
The pass out of bounds. And we're still waiting for the officials to rule. Fisher, with Nick Van Exel, benched the last couple of games by an injury. And in fact, that was his first turnover on that pass that went out of bounds and will belong. Fisher went reeling backwards as if he caught an elbow up in the eye. Burrell going over to let him know it wasn't intentional.
Fisher and Burrell's fighting for the post. Now Burrell goes up, and as he's going up, he reaches back, uses his momentum, and he hits Fisher in the eye. And I think as Fisher got hit in the eye, he probably said something.
Burrell.
I don't know if the technical was because of the elbow or if it was something that Burrell said.
Bryant, 38 to play in the half. Let's check in with Ahmad.
All right, Bob, it was a strange call because the only thing that Burrell said to Derek Fisher was that he was sorry. Ask him, was he all right? And then a technical was fault.
At this point,
Lou will tee you up. You know, when Lou had a couple of my games when I was playing, he was quick with the tee.
One more coming for Burrell. The Lakers by a bucket.
Came into the league strictly as a power player, but now you see him trying to develop little hook shots, little turnaround jump shots, trying to develop his finesse game. So when he's 29 years old, he'll have the total package.
The Laker lead trimmed to 1. Yeah, but maybe that'll get him going. 8 points for him. Jordan fades and fires over Shaq.
Oh, that was to follow through with it on the fade.
Eddie Jones quickly back. That's a big part of his game in transition that way. Lakers 57, Bulls 53. Eddie Jones, an open 3. Not there, and that'll do it. Coming up next, the Prudential Halftime Report. That's after these messages. With the Lakers in front by 4, halftime at the Great Western Forum. Maybe Michael Jordan's last NBA game in Los Angeles.
Next Sunday's All-Star game, making him the youngest player in NBA All-Star history. Bob Costas spoke with the Lakers' second-year sensation.
A week from now, you'll be introduced.
Now, I've never fully played the game there ever before. I just heard stories about it, and I can't wait to get out there, hear the introductions, run out there on the court.
My game, and I think if he maintains a certain mental approach, he can become a great professional basketball player.
All these Michael Jordan comparisons, very flattering, obviously. As Michael Jordan, the circumstances will never be the same. So there'll be a first Kobe Bryant, a first Grant Hill, but there will not be another Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to get at. You know, Michael came into the league and people were comparing Mike with Dr. J. People always make comparisons, but it's up to the own individual throughout the years who's going to create his own identity.
We've got a little show going on here between number 20.
What was that conversation like?
No, we're just talking about a couple moves and get a chance to go up against one of the best basketball players that ever played this game. You know, a couple bits of advice here and there.
Anything you want to divulge?
No, I can't give y'all that kind of information. If I tell you, I have to eliminate you.
Just able to beat your dad one-on-one.
It was a big moment for me. My father used to beat up on me a lot. And then my mother would come outside and watch the games, and he would stop throwing elbows all of a sudden, stop cheating on the score, and I got him. That's the last time I played him. Your parents there with me. They're my backbone. It's been like this for 19 years. So I didn't see any reason to change it simply because I made the jump to go to the NBA.
I don't mean to oversimplify to the extent that that's appropriate, but also step up into the NBA and take care of yourself. You're comfortable with 1 foot in the water and 1 foot out, huh?
I mean, I am 19. I'm very, very young. But at the same time, basketball has no age. Jump shot has no age. Crossover has no age. So when I'm out there playing, I'm playing hard. I'm fitting in just with the rest of
There's certainly been other notable NBA players to skip college, go to the NBA straight out of high school, like Moses Malone and Kevin Garnett. But unlike those players,
That's a huge head start. I mean, his father was a pro. His son becomes a pro. You're happy, you know, any kind of job. He was born into the NBA, and he was over in Europe with his father, so he got to see things, a different perspective on life. So he came here as a 19 year
does, Hannah. Right now, he's predominantly relying on the spectacular, and I think what Kobe has to learn is that you don't always have to do one-on-one. You don't always have to make learn later on in his career. But this kid is young, he's got time on his hands, and he's eminently coachable. But right now, I think he's got to get his teammates more involved, help them out, make them better, as opposed to making his.
He has 8 points on 2 of 7 shooting from the field, 4 rebounds, and a pair of assists. When we return, highlights from the Knicks and the Heat, who played earlier today at Madison Square Garden. But first,
it's going to be tough to beat the Bulls in a half-court game, so we got to get early transition offense.
About the Chicago Bulls?
Well, I think they have to continue to execute. You know, the Bulls are where they want to be, believe me. They want to come down, and they know if they take it into the fourth quarter in a close game, MJR.
But even in a fast court game, it seems to me that the Bulls are kind of comfortable in with that pace.
Yeah, but, you know, we're better at it than them. You know, now the Bulls want a run, no question about it. They have better people in transition maybe than we do, but that's our game. You know, in a half-court game where we're going. You got more options in a half-court game than we do in terms of the Lakers. You know,
we could probably do the second half and let Bob and Isaiah go get it hot dog.
You and Bob take the second half off. I got you.
Bob.
Second half. Pippen into the lane, flips one up, no good. And the rebound to Corey Blunt.
Now the energy has to continue.
It was a 4-point differential at halftime. The Lakers come out and immediately put 3 quick baskets on the board to up it to 10 at 63-53.
Well, that's the youth. That's the energy. You're in the dog days of February right now, January. These are the dog days, January, February of the NBA. This is where your mind starts to wander. So by LA being a younger team, they should continue to push and make Chicago use their energy. Chicago's on a long road trip. LA right now, this is a kill point in the game. This is where you're up 10 right now. You come a 20-second timeout, you say, okay, now we want to go further. We want to push this lead further. We want to take it to 15. Chicago, on the other hand, is thinking we want to take it down to 5. Right now, you know, Derek Fisher ran over there to try to hurry up to get him to inbound the ball. You know, they want to keep the pressure on. They want to keep pushing, keep making Chicago have to use their legs and work.
I don't know if he'll match fellow Tar Heel Michael Jordan, but he's got 17, matching the number on his back, and the Lakers are up by 13.
To do. See the three-point shot, anytime you see a three-point shot with an 8 to 10-point lead, that's a kill shot, that's a momentum shot. You know, and now you come back down on the fast break and you got another chance to make a three-point play. Foul, Fox goes around him and has a chance for a three-point play.
That gives him 20 for the game. And suddenly a 16-point lead. A dozen unanswered and can't end the Chicago drought. Shaq has it. Here comes Fisher. Out of the corner, Jones for 3. 19-point lead. Rodman has it knocked away, and there's a Los Angeles foul. Back to Ahmad.
Derek Fisher, during halftime, took 3 stitches in the eye, and I found out about the technical that was called is that the referee thought that it was intentional that he got hit in the eye, and that's why.
Longley, a 16-footer. And finally, Chicago is on the board in the second half.
Now, what Chicago has to do right now, they have to slow the momentum, slow the manufacture some points from the foul line. LA has to keep the energy and keep pounding.
Shaq. The Lakers are 7 for 7 from the floor in the third. Jordan from Longley. Spins out. Shaq has it. Pegging it. Head Jordan back with Jones, and Michael. Michael comes up with the steal. Pippen's 3 isn't there. And a whistle off the rebound battle. And they'll stay at this end of the floor. A Los Angeles foul on Rick Fox.
You know, when I was in Detroit and we was trying to overcome run to get them moving, if you can get the old guys moving around and you can use your young energy, you have a better chance of beating them.
3 fouls on Fox.
Injuries start to catch up to them. They didn't want to run up and down the court.
Longley with both Chicago baskets in the quarter. Here's Eddie Jones to the reverse.
Nice.
Pippen trying to work on Fox, and Fox picks up his 4th foul.
That's a little simple things. At Temple, I'm sure John Chaney taught that the back cut. He didn't teach. The up, the under, the reverse, the left hand. Learn how to use your right hand in your left hand. If he would have tried to shoot that shot right-handed, he couldn't have made it. So he had to switch it over to his left to use the backspin.
It's Pippen who takes Jones defensively. Shaq with the fadeaway. That's the first miss of the half for the Lakers. They're 8. LA by 19. Jordan guarded by Bryant. Takes him inside and banks it home.
Trying to get closer. You see Jordan go in to get closer. They want to take safe shots right now.
That was Jordan's first basket of the second half. He has 24 for the game. The Lakers sprinting out to
try to use the teacher's move on him. Jordan shuts him down. Then Jordan comes down and says, let me show you this one. Bam. Okay, now let me see if you can get this. Okay, the back cut. Did you catch that one, young fella? At night, but mentally you got to be able to stay in it and you got to be able to learn.
Here is Kobe to the baseline for the slam. He's got 10. And the foul is on Chicago.
You see Kobe going baseline and he elevates with 2 hands. And he jumps off the wrong foot, which throws Luke Longley off balance.
With a rare turnover for him, loses it on the dribble. Trail by 19 as we move inside 6 minutes to play in the third. It was a 4-point game at halftime. Longley, his pass intercepted by Fisher. Pushing it. Bryant cross court to Jones. Eddie Jones misses the 3.
See, this is when you got to knock the champion out. You have to stay in the game. He knows when the kill points are. You know, LA went on a run. Now they've settled down. They've lost their energy to go up and down. Now Chicago is going to perform here to get back into it.
Intercepted by Bryant. Jordan is back with him. Kobe fouled by Michael. And before the shot, no basket.
And when you got the young legs and the young energy, you don't want to let Chicago rest. Every chance you get, you want to push the ball up court just as LA is doing.
Gets swatted in the face inadvertently by Kobe Bryant as he pulls in the rebound.
I mean, when you look at the body length, and they want to keep pushing, you know. That's what Dale was a little afraid of when we talked to him yesterday. He was concerned about his team having the type of energy to sustain it for 4 quarters. They've been...
Chicago ball from the side. Parker's okay. He stays in. He wheels around Fisher, bounces to Pippen. Longley with Shaq getting a hand in his face, and Luke misses. Little, and he's got 28. Here's Blunt finding
Jack was that, hey, it takes a long time. You know, you have to keep your eye on the prize. You have to keep working and working, and you're not going to get it, you know, in 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. You got to keep pushing to have the same focus and concentration and discipline that he has to bring it for 5, 6 more years.
Outscored so far in this quarter, 29-10. Chicago asks for time.
Become our 1-2 punch. You know, he has a great heart, great scoring ability. You know, he could do a lot of things. He plays good defense, and I think that, you know, we're going to be the future. He's 19. I'm still young.
Understand the game a lot better.
Pippen traveled as he came through the lane, but you're right. Bryant had 2 teammates on his left and tried to take it in alone the last time.
That you want to come out and see. You know, both these guys can sell out the arena. You know, when Shaq goes on the road, he can sell it out just like Jordan does.
Here's Eldon Campbell. Pippen to Randy Brown from 20. It's long. Rebound fought for, and eventually Blunt has it. Jones around Jordan and missing. But Blunt keeps it alive for Los Angeles.
Trying to find his game in the NBA. He's still learning. So every time he gets it, you know, he has to try to, you know, push the envelope and find something new to do. You know, in business, you know what?
Third foul. One of 4 Laker All-Stars, the last team to put 4 into an All-Star game. The 83-72. 1 of 2 for Michael. Bryant into the lane. And he was fouled. The basket would have counted had it dropped. Last time he faced Michael and the Bulls, on 12 of 20 shooting, including 3 3-pointers at the United Center in December. Again, a 25-point Laker lead. The Bulls have 11 points in this quarter.
We get a shot at Phil Jackson here. You know, he's seen it all. When you look at that Chicago bench, you know, it's like a law firm. You know, they got Jackson, you know, Tex Winters, you know, those. That's what makes Chicago so special. You know, they've been through the wars. They know how to win. They know how to take losses like these.
So, well, they don't have to take many like these. And this Bryant with a long 3 that's no good, and Randy Brown has it.
Every time you would meet on the road like this, you probably end up getting a blowout because you would set yourself up for the championship game. You know, LA and Boston used to come and
was lost last weekend at Seattle. They were embarrassed at home here on Wednesday night by the Nets as Keith Van Horn dropped 30 on them. They had to struggle to beat Minnesota.
That's you. That's, you know, the inexperience brings on the inconsistency.
Trying to add to a 25-point lead as the a delay of game warning there for the ball being knocked away after the basket. A 34-11 quarter for the Lakers. 10 of the points in the period in the NBA on NBC. The Lakers shot 64% in the third quarter to 26%, and leading by 27 as we prepare to start the fourth. Now, Chicago is playing the fourth of 6 games in a 9, and it's time to rest some folks in the fourth. Bushler, Randy Brown, Scott Burrell, Bill Wennington, and Jason Bennett.
When your team is playing this well, as LA is playing well right now, you want to keep your starters in for a little longer because you want to let them get their rhythm.
Chicago is 21-2 at home this year, but if they lose this one, as appears likely, they'll be 500 at 12-12 on the road. Here is Fisher into the lane, finding Campbell, and Campbell goes up, but Campbell.
That drove Magic Johnson crazy, just gave him fits, you know, because he couldn't figure him out. You know, one day he'd show up and he'd play with all types of intensity, and then he'll turn around and, you know, he wouldn't give it to you.
Caffey against Bennett, who fouled him.
Foul number 23, Mario Bennett. Second personal.
You know, Campbell frees himself up here.
With Shaq out, Campbell averaged more than 16.
Well, he needs to learn how to play when Shaq is in because Shaq's not doing anything.
Even though he's not the least bit bashful, how is he going to average 25, 26 shots a game as Michael Jordan has for a good portion of his career when Shaquille O'Neal takes more shots than almost anybody else in the league?
You know, he can do a lot of things, and he's exciting. You know, people want to come to the game. They want to buy their tickets. They want to, you know, get their hot dogs and their popcorn, and they want to be entertained. And that's what Kobe Bryant
after the timeout. Of Michael Jordan's has been quoted as saying that at age 19, Kobe Bryant is more advanced than Michael was at the same stage.
Wes here also as a mentor to talk to him about winning basketball, championship basketball, not just coming into this league and selling, just being a player in this league. Kobe wants to win champions.
Important to Kobe was his friendship with Eddie Jones. When Eddie Jones was at Temple, Kobe was important to Kobe was his friendship with Eddie Jones. When Eddie Jones was at Temple, Kobe was in high school. They got together then, and they are like two brothers. Kobe says that Eddie is like his big brother, and it was nice to come out and play on a team and have a guy like that.
Los Angeles
brother, and it was nice to come out and play on a team and have a guy like that.
Los Angeles, you know, a lot of guys can come out to Los Angeles and get their mind blown at 19, but he's been able to sustain it because he's got the support system of his father and also Eddie Jones.
That's an inside. That's an Inside Stuff All-Star Special next Sunday, 1:30 Eastern on NBC.
Is that the MVP, Cynthia Cooper?
That would be correct, of the Houston Comets.
Hey,
intended as a compliment.
Oh, that was the highest compliment that she probably could ever be paid, you know, because, you know, she transcends. She's crossed over. Steal, you know, he's kind of everything, but the funniest nickname that Shaq has is the one that my daughter calls him. She calls him Shaquille Oatmeal. She can't get up. He's got the total package, you know. You know, people talk about the money sometimes that guys get, but this guy's worth every dime that he gets because every single night, you know, he brings it to you.
6 of 10 at the line. Played the Clippers in Los Angeles this year, and Michael had 49 in a double overtime win in November. Unless these two teams meet in the finals, this is Michael's last appearance for this year and maybe ever at the Forum. 6:59 left, but not getting enough help. The Lakers up by 21 and cruising here in the fourth. Go ahead.
So you talked about Jordan retiring. You know, I hope he's still the best player playing. He leads the league in scoring. He's the most exciting draw that there is in any sport. You know, maybe you can talk about he and Tiger Woods, but, you know, when I look at Jordan, You know, if he's on terms, you know, when you look at myself, Magic, Bird, you know, the great players of that era, we had to leave because of injuries or other reasons, you know. But when
play for anyone other than Phil Jackson. He doesn't want to go to another team. It has to be in Chicago. Jackson told us a few weeks ago he sees no possible scenario whereby he would coach the Bulls next year. And maybe Jordan wants to leave at the very peak.
Chicago doesn't do what, you know, we did in Detroit when you break. Chicago doesn't do what, you know, we did in Detroit when you break it up too early. We had, you know, I thought we had a great basketball. Break it up too early. We had, you know, I thought we had a great basketball. As long as these guys are playing well, time you step out on the court, Michael Jordan gives you something special and something that you probably haven't seen before. Special and something that you probably haven't seen before.
Michael now with 31. With 31.
Playing in the All-Star game. It was the ultimate playground. Playing in the All-Star game. It was the ultimate playground game.
Speaking of playground, Kobe to the back and then drops it through. This could rival it or surpass it.